Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we have an article titled, "The player every NBA team is likely to trade before the deadline." It's listed by Elizabeth Elliott. And basically, we are going to go through each and every single one of these players and see if if there's somebody that the team should trade, or, like what type of team they would fit on, or what type of value they have, things along those lines. Quick note, guys, I am posting content over on my second channel, Extra Crispy. I actually transferred my Detroit Pistons, my GM series over there, so if you've been looking for that, chances are, man, a few episodes have been posted over to the second channel. Link to that in the description below, or you can just YouTube Extra Crispy, of course, with a K. But let's go ahead and get started on this. The first player we have is Kent Bazemore. Yeah, Kent Bazemore, he got paid a bitch-ass contract by the Atlanta Hawks, and just, I feel like he definitely chose, getting paid over contending for a ring and stuff like that. So he's got, 1 or 2 years left on his deal out there, man. The Hawks need to trade him away. I feel like he'd be a good fit on a team like the Boston Celtics, not as a starter or anything like that, but just somebody that can come off the bench and bring you a little extra scoring out there. I think that's kind of definitely where he's at this point in his career. It just comes down to how much are you willing to give up for a guy with a bitch ass contract. So it might be 1 or 2 years left on it though, so it definitely is towards the tail end of it. Next, we have Terry Rozier of the Boston Celtics, and this one actually makes complete sense. He's averaging 7 points, 2-3 assists this season. Of course, the numbers are down because mainly Kyrie Irving has stayed pretty much healthy. So, with that being said, I believe Terry Rozier is a restricted free agent, so there is going to be some team out there that is going to offer him, not the greatest contract, and the Boston Celtics, of course, are not going to match it because they got their own contract woes out there with, of course, Gordon Hayward getting paid $30 million a season. They gave a new contract to Marcus Smart, and, guys like Jason Tatum are going to want to get paid down the road. So, why not trade him away and get some sort of value for him? I mean, based off his numbers right now, he's not putting up, crazy numbers, so he still has that symbolic kind of value from what he did last season. Wow, we know what this guy definitely could possibly do in the right system. Next, we have DeMarre Carroll of the Brooklyn Nets. Kind of same song and dance as Kent Bazemore. He's just kind of I don't remember exactly what his contract situation's like. It says it will expire after this season, so I do remember it was kind of a bitch-ass contract originally, though. So, yeah, I mean, if I was a championship team, a guy like DeMarre Carroll would definitely be nice. He's a nice veteran out there. He'll play some defense, knock down some three-point shots for you. And the Brooklyn Nets probably are a team in need of, some draft picks, of course. So, I would probably say you can probably get him for, a second-round draft pick. I think if I was the Brooklyn Nets, I would kind of do that trade because there's no really sense in keeping him around. Next, we have Biyombo of the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, so he has been trash since he left the Toronto Raptors. And if I'm the Raptors, we know what Bismack is like on that team. Yes, they got Valanciunas and they got Serge Ibaka and guys like that. But even as a third string center, why not bring a guy like Bismack Biyombo and just kind of hope that at times if somebody goes on with an injury, then you have a pretty good guy that knows your system and stuff like that. So, any other team though, he's gonna be a bitch ass on because that's just how he is as a player now. Okay, next we have Chicago Bulls, Robin Lopez. Okay, man, I was watching Chicago Bulls game, and I was watching Robin Lopez. And this dude was choking up three-point shots like he was freaking Brook Lopez, man. That's your twin brother. I understand the genetics, but dude, you should not be shooting threes out there. It says that he is getting paid about $15 million at the end of this season. I do not like him as a starting center, but with that being said, man, you got Wendell Carter out there on the team, and you got Lauri Markkanen and players like that. So it just seems like Robin Lopez is going to eat into their minutes. I don't really see him as a starter, so there's plenty of teams out there that could use his services as a backup, but that's about all he's going to be on a good team these days. We have Kevin Love of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm sorry, Cleveland Nation, but you're going to have one hell of a time trading away Kevin Love, because not only is he injury prone, I mean, every season, guys, this guy gets injured, man, but you also just gave him that ridiculous extension, and there's not really a team out there that's going to want to trade for that, because Kevin Love is at the point in his career, we saw last year with LeBron James. He cannot be the second best player on your team to win a championship. He cannot do that, man. It just does not work. He's not that type of player. He needs to be a third option. But nobody's going to want to give, first option money to a third option player. So I don't know how it gets done at all. He has no business being on the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers had no business giving him that contract. But I don't blame Kevin Love for taking it because, of course, man, he got to get paid. And he's got a ring. Dallas Mavericks, Wesley Matthews. You know what, man? Wesley Matthews, when I think of Wesley, I think of him on the Portland Trailblazers. I know we had 1 or 2 really good seasons for them. I don't really know what he is like now at this point in his NBA career, but they already got Luka Doncic on the team. They got Harrison Barnes. So, I mean, their front court and, 2 spots essentially taken. So, yeah, Wesley Matthews, I feel like he could definitely be like, he definitely could be a starter in the right system. I would love to see him go to a team like the Lakers and maybe take those minutes of KCP. I feel like he has some nice value right there. But yeah, it's just like, as of right now, he's probably just more like a rotation player anyway. So, you can trade him. It's just, I don't really know what his value is. Next up, we have Denver Nuggets, Mason Plumlee. So, says he hasn't really done much in Denver ever since being traded to Portland. Another same case as Robin Lopez, where, yeah, he's a solid NBA center, but his money situation right now, I don't think his contract's all that horrible. I know typically the Plumlees are notorious for getting bitch-ass contracts here in the NBA. But yeah, there's plenty of contenders out there that can use his services as a backup center. Probably about 20-25 minutes per game. I say that's about where he is right now in his NBA career. Detroit Pistons, Reggie Jackson. Yes, please, somebody take this man away from this team. He is not a starting point guard. I will say, if you are a championship team out there, Reggie Jackson could do very well for you as a backup point guard. Like, he could bring you some scoring off your bench. He's not going to make no plays or anything like that. But the Pistons need to move on. You guys have an all-star front court and Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond with a point guard that cannot freaking run an offense. It just makes no sense at all why he's even on this team, man. But, $17 million, good luck trading that away because no team's going to take on a $17 million backup point guard. Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green, I completely disagree with this one, guys. Okay, I know Draymond Green's had his dramatic issues out there. I know his three-point shot's not great, but we are currently in December at the making of this video, guys. We're in December. Klay Thompson's shot is off, too. I understand that there's a bit of probably like championship hangover because that just tends to happen to teams like this after a few seasons. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that Draymond Green in the Golden State Warriors system defensively makes him a top defensive team. When he's out of the game, they're not as good. So, no, man, he does fine. Like, he'll find a shot eventually. He's never been an amazing three-point shooter, but if he starts knocking it down a little bit more, it's all going to be good. Next, we have Houston Rockets, Brandon Knight. I mean, Chris Paul just went down with injury. They have, like, Austin Rivers. They got Michael Carter-Williams. They don't really have any business training point guards as of right now, man, unless you can somehow upgrade your point guard position in it. But, yeah, I don't really see him getting traded. Next we had, no, come on. Miles Turner has been so fantastic for the Pacers this season, man. I will say that because they just freaking beat my Pistons by 40. But no, man, Miles Turner, no. Like, it is a very tough situation with the Pacers right now because they do have Sabonis and they do have Miles Turner. And they're both great in their own ways. So you don't really want to run Miles at the 4 spot. You don't want to run Sabonis at the 4 spot. It's just that they're both better at center. So yeah, a choice will ultimately have to be made. I don't know if it has to be made right now. We got the Clippers with Marcin Gortat. Oh, yeah, man. They got Montrezl Harrell. He's a baller, bro. You got Boban out there. I mean, Marcin Gortat, he's been pretty trash since his last few seasons of the Washington Wizards. I would not even respect him really as a backup center anymore. I mean, if there's teams out there that need some depth, maybe as a third stringer, which is essentially what is on the Clippers, and yeah, that's fine. But you're not going to get much from Marcin Gortat, Clipper Nation. I'm sorry. He's just not that type of player anymore. Next, we got KCP for the Los Angeles Lakers. KCP, I've watched him for many seasons, guys. Well, not many seasons, but on the Pistons, I watched him, when he was playing there. And he's just a very streaky player. And streakiness definitely does not tend to sit well with LeBron James. You need guys out there that are consistent offensively and defensively. There's plenty of shooting guards out there that could take that spot of KCP, and it would just help the team so much more, man. Like Josh Hart out there, I like a lot more than KCP. He is on a 1-year, $12 million contract, so it's like that's not really that big a deal. The value you have for KCP is that he is still a young player. He's not like old or anything like that. And when he is playing nice, he's a pretty damn good shooting guard. It's not all that often. So I could see a younger team maybe taking a risk on him. Kyle Anderson, the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, when he was he was pretty well in the San Antonio Spurs system. He wasn't like absolutely like the star player, but you could definitely see flashes of potential with Kyle Anderson. Fast forward to the offseason, he signed with the Memphis Grizzlies. He was supposed to be like this jack of all trades type of player, a guy that could score a little bit, rebound a little bit, make a little bit, play some good defense. Not really amazing at any one thing, but good at everything somewhat. And he just really has not been that. for the Grizzlies. He's, it was kind of I don't know, man. They've kind of like struck out as far as like Kyle Anderson, of course, Chandler Parsons. Hopefully this team will find a good small forward someday. Miami Heat, Goran Dragic. Yeah, have you guys seen Justice Winslow lately playing that point guard position? Like, he looking like a freaking, a 2-inch shorter Ben Simmons out there, bro. Goran Dragic, I would like to see him go actually see him go back to the Phoenix Suns. Just because I feel like that team could use his veteran presence out there. I feel like the team would really welcome him with open arms. And he could do a lot for Devin Booker's confidence, DeAndre Ayton, and just give them like a beacon of consistency at that spot. That they have not really had in pretty much since Goran Dragic was off that team. Milwaukee Bucks, Tony Snell. I don't got much to say about him, guys. I mean, the Bucks have been pretty damn solid this season. So, yeah, Tony Snell, he's kind of that same thing as KCP, where, every now and then he can knock down shots. It's like, all right, we got something here, man. But more times than not, he's not really all that great. There's probably some better options out there in the NBA that could take his minutes and be a better fit for the Milwaukee Bucks. Next up, we have Taj Gibson for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think I actually kind of disagree with them on this one, man. He's a nice veteran player. I think he's good for their locker room. I think he's good in their system. Karl Anthony Towns he does struggle on defense. Taj Gibson is definitely more of like a gritty player that's going to do some of the dirty work that Carl Anthony Towns might not necessarily do. I don't see Taj as a center or anything like that. I see him as a power forward. So with a guy that's kind of limited offensively, you do want him along a center that can bring some offense. So I actually think this is a pretty solid fit. I do not agree with this one. Okay, next we have Solomon Hill of the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelican fans, I'm sorry, man, but you guys have given out some bad contracts the past few seasons, and he's just one of the people on the mini list of bad players. Y'all ain't gonna trade no Solomon Hill. You might get a 7th round draft pick for him, man. A 7th round draft pick. That's about all I would give for Solomon Hill these days. Don't even exist. New York Knicks, Tim Hardaway Jr. Now he's been their best player this season. I think we can agree with that. Alonzo Trier looks promising. He does get about $18-19 million over the next 3 seasons. So the team is looking to get like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and players like that. So I mean, by trading away Tim Hardaway, you probably could get a pretty decent haul for him right now. I would probably, cause it's like I wouldn't want expiring contracts. Because actually, maybe I would. Yeah, I think I would want expiring contracts and maybe. Y'all think he's worth a 1st round draft pick? I don't know about all that, man. But just it would free up money, to sign some of those superstar players, because clearly they're not exactly the greatest team ever with Tim Hardaway Jr. as their best player. Now with Porzingis coming back, maybe that's a different story. But yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, next we have. No, come on. I know OKC Thunder fans are excited about this man coming back to their team because his defense is freaking pristine, bro. I think Andrew Roberson's actually pretty underrated here in the NBA. It says right there, he's pretty much the modern day Tony Allen. It's not very often you get guys that love playing defense, and Roberson loves doing that, and he excels in it. So I don't really see a point. His contract's not bad. It's like $10 million a season. He gotta get healthy and get back on the court, plain and simple. Next, we got Orlando Magic Evan Fournier. Yeah, Terrence Ross has really stepped up this NBA season. Fournier, like when he's playing good basketball, can be an 18-point per game scorer. I feel like that can help out a lot of different teams out there. I would like to see them trade him away for some sort of point guard. Maybe even like, honestly, because the Denver Nuggets, they could always use more offense. Evan Fournier for Isaiah Thomas, because they got Monte Morris right now as their point guard, or a backup point guard, and that's fine. So, Isaiah Thomas just kind of be sitting there. Isaiah could come to this team and be the starting point guard for the Orlando Magic. I would really like to see that. Okay, next we have Markelle Fultz for the Philadelphia 76ers. I agree with this 100%, man. Plain and simple. Markelle Fultz, he still has trade value because of being that first pick in the draft. It's not all that great because, of course, the shoulder injury and the confidence and, the numbers over the past 2 seasons. It's just really not played all that much. But, I mean, Ben Simmons is the starting point guard. Markelle Fultz should not be playing off ball. He should not be playing the 2 spot. I still think he could be a good NBA player, but I think in hindsight, it was a poor draft decision by the 76ers, and they could still get some value for him. Next up, we have the Phoenix Suns with Josh Jackson. Yeah, I agree with this one, too. As far as his trade value, I think there's teams out there that would definitely take a gamble on them. I think he needs a coach that kind of fits his style of play, though. I think he needs a veteran coach that can get the most out of him. Just because, you look at the Phoenix Suns, they're going to have a high draft pick. They're going to go for somebody like an RJ Barrett or a Zion Williamson who can play the small forward or power forward position. They already got TJ Warren, who's only 25, can be a top scorer on their team. So Josh Jackson he feels like he's never really going to take off on this Suns team. I think he needs kind of a new environment out there. Okay, here we got Myers Leonard of the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, I have not heard about this dude in a long time. Yo, Portland fans, is he even playing good right now? Like, is he even doing anything? I know Zach Collins has been taking some minutes out there. He's been pretty solid this season. Myers Leonard, I know he's got a pretty poor contract, too. Sacramento Kings, Zach Randolph. Yeah, I would like to see him go to a championship contender. He's probably got one or two more seasons left in him. Might be able to get a second-round draft pick for him, or maybe some sort of, like, extremely young asset out there. So, yeah, Z-Bo, he's kind of just wasting the rest of his career here on the Sacramento Kings. He could help out a team. Just go to the Warriors, man. Get yourself a ring or something like that. I don't know. Next up, we have LaMarcus Aldridge of the San Antonio Spurs. Yes, I want him to get traded back to the Portland Trailblazers. I feel like the Portland Trailblazers would still love to have him back. I feel like he could be that third option that team needs. I feel like a team of, Damian, CJ, whoever as small forward, LaMarcus Aldridge and Nurkic would be pretty nice. I mean, of course, they have to trade something away to get him on the team, but I'm sure they could throw together some sort of package. Okay, here we have Jonas Valanciunas of the Toronto Raptors. I've actually respect what he's been doing this season by, like, deciding to come off the bench and letting Serge Ibaka be the small ball center, which has been working for the team, by the way. So, yeah, if they don't want to pay this man, starting center money to be a backup center, I could respect that. But, I mean, it's not like he's doing bad where they need to get rid of him. So, it's just a matter of contracts. Derek Favors of the Utah Jazz. Been saying it forever, man. I've been saying this forever. He is, that contract they gave him was such a horrible choice. He is such a horrible fit alongside Gobert. He would be a perfect small ball center. He should not be playing the power forward position. He cannot shoot the three ball. And, yeah, man, it was such a horrible choice by the Jazz to do that. Trade this man away. He could still be solid. And then finally, we have Otto Porter of the Washington Wizards. Yeah, we have a guy averaging 11 points per game, getting paid $100 million, guys. $100 million for 11 points per game. That is atrocious. It makes no sense at all. I mean, the good thing about him is that he is still really young out there. The Washington Wizards are going to be in rebuild mode. I don't really know what they could expect to get from Otto Porter in a trade, though, because the only thing you have going for you with that is, for one, his age, and two, is like he's historically a pretty damn good three-point shooter. This season, only about 33%, but regardless, that's really the value, because contract-wise, no team's going to want to give up too much. So, yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all these. I always love doing these articles. Hope you guys always enjoy them. But, yeah, man, be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.